Babylon is fallen. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. How much she hath glorified herself, and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit as a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, and mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. Revelation chapter 18, verse 1 through 8. Babylon is fallen. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to your Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Aharon coming back at you with another lesson, Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right, now I'm going to title this Signs of the Last Days, Increase of Wickedness. Okay, and I'm going to read a little bit of an article here. And basically, even people in the world who have some sense of objective knowledge, or at least an objective perception of the reality that we're living in, right? They can see that we're definitely living in the last days and living in the last leg of this Roman Empire, all right, the second leg of the Roman Empire, okay, which is America, Babylon the Great, as is written in the scriptures. Okay, now let's get this real fast. It says, there is a growing pattern of wickedness and lawlessness dominating our society today that throughout history was found in civilizations in the process of decline. It is a pattern evident in nations that rejected the Most High's word as ultimate authority in their lives, and is a pattern prevailing in many Americans today, as is written. Okay, that in the last days you're going to see a whole lot of wickedness, and we're going to get that. All right, that we're living in the times of end-time biblical prophecy. Okay, now Yahushua did mention in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, all right, the 12th verse, as a matter of fact, let's get that real fast. Okay, that the love of many is going to wax cold, and the reason is because of lawlessness. Okay, lawlessness. Now let's get this. This is a book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right, let's look up a few words here real fast. All right, the word iniquity, all right, goes into the Greek word, I believe, anomia. All right, and it says the condition of without law. All right, so being in a state of so-called anarchy. All right, anarchy, meaning what? A state of without law. Okay, because ignorant of it, or because of violating it. All right, and ultimately, on a bigger scale, the reason why a lot of this violence is happening, the Hamas is happening, all right, upon American soil, is because of the void of or the voiding of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's law, which is a natural law. Okay, contempt and violation of law, iniquity, wickedness. All right, transgression of the law, right? Whether it be biblical or even the so-called corrupt law of the land, all right? The so-called American laws or maritime law, whatever you want to call it, all right? People are violating it at an all-time high. And as we read this article, you see what I'm talking about, okay? And this is stuff that we already know, but, ultimately highlighting these things that are happening is also a part of measuring the times diligently in itself, because it's all part of the signs of the end. Okay, if we're not here to highlight these things, then people turn a blind eye to it. It doesn't mean that it's not happening. Okay, we're bringing it we're bringing it full circle, if you will. Okay, so it says because iniquity shall abound, right? The love of many shall wax cold. Okay, and you go into that word love is talking about the word Greek word agape, all right, which is brotherly love or having empathy and sympathy for people. All right, gone are the days where people actually looked out for each other. Nowadays, everywhere you go, there's this feeling of not wanting to even have a conversation with people. I saw today there was a video this guy was doing, and he was basically talking about even the gyms, right? That most people go to the gym for specific goals, right? Everyone wants to be healthy, or you want to look a certain way, whatever the case may be. There's a reason why you're there. And some people are very consistent. It becomes almost like a lifestyle. People are always in there, whether, again, for whatever reason, right? But the same thing happens mostly in almost every gym where people don't communicate with each other. Everybody's kind of like minding their own business. Nobody says anything. You might see somebody put in some good work, right? But you're not even going to say, hey, that was good work. 30 years ago, that was easy. Somebody would come up to you and be like, oh, that's good work, man. I seen you work in the past 5-6 months, man. You've been putting in work. That's what's up. Or, hey, I seen you putting in work, man. You motivated me to do this and that, or somebody might come up to you and be like, yo, bro, I seen that you're doing this, but hey, check this out. Try this out. Like that kind of energy is nowhere to be found anymore. And that's around the world. Everybody's keeping to themselves. Nobody says anything. You go to a grocery store, everybody's minding their own business. Nobody says hi. Nobody says good morning. Nobody says anything. It's just robotic energy. That sympathetic, apathy, I guess, is no longer a part of normal daily activities. You go to work, everybody's quiet. Everyone is walking on eggshells. It's like, what's going on? Right? It says the love of many shall wax cold. That word cold goes into the word psycho. Okay, which means what? It says here, waning love or being cold, right? Growing cold. You got a lot of people don't have, like I said, that empathy and that sympathy or that reason to connect with you anymore. So committing acts of violence towards you has become very easy. You got people just taking out a gun and just wailing off, man. It's like it's nothing nowadays. And that's all because the Lord is putting that filthy spirit here in America to be justified when he sends that destruction down here. Okay, and America will be destroyed. There's no way around it. All right, you better start taking that stuff seriously because the days of America are numbered. All right, so let's go back to the article here. And the guy is saying, he says, I believe America's rejection of the Lord or the Lord's lordship is the reason behind all the bloodshed, violence, racial hatred, moral decay, drug abuse, and outbreak of deadly sexual diseases in our society. Lawmakers, educators, and the media have made God an unspeakable subject. Even in prisons, there is a ban on religion or religious mottos, including the Ten Commandments. Even worse, many of our churches no longer exalt the Lord as our Lord and King. Okay, and again, this is to show you this is Sodom and Gomorrah all over again. Okay, if hell was an actual real place, it would be here in America. America will be that hell. Okay, where you everything you do just goes wrong. Nothing you do is actually a successful thing. Everything is tied to some form of fees or some form of adhesion contract. You're never really free. You know what I mean? Everything you do has to go through someone. You building a house, well, you need a building permit. Well, this is my land. No, you don't. You don't own the land. You're leasing it. You can't own anything here in America. Remember, you own nothing and you be happy. It's little stupid shit like that. But anyway, let's keep going. Right? It says, because man has rejected the truth of the Most High's word, which is the scriptures, which has been brought up by the prophets, right? The true prophets of the Lord's term, with our elders and apostles of great millstone on down, right? He has given over to a reprobate mind that seeks self-gratification over responsibility to others, right? And that's I believe the Apostle Paul talks about that in the book of Romans, the 1st chapter, right? That the Lord gave them unto unclean spirits, right? We might get that precept as well, okay? But let's continue here. It says, lawlessness has abounded or is abounding in America, which is Babylon the Great. Okay, it says, even our national leaders now model this behavior, evident in the scandalous sexual behavior of President Clinton, followed by widespread acceptance of his adulterous sin by the American public. Now, if the lady that he was laying with doesn't have a man, then it wasn't adultery. But in today's, understanding of what adultery is, that's why they're saying that is a man, sleeping with another woman while he's married. But in reality, according to the scriptures, or the truth, the whole truth, as a man, if you have a woman or you're married to a woman and you have a sexual relationship with another woman outside of that so-called marriage, and that woman you're having sex with is not married, that is not adultery. It only becomes adultery if that woman has a man or she's dealing with somebody. All right, it's just that simple. Okay. So continue, it says, years later, presidential candidate Donald Trump seemed to get a free pass when it came to his behavior toward women. And we are seeing the results of that reprobate mind with the increase of homosexuality, lesbianism, abortion, euthanasia, drugs, crime, rebelliousness in youth, and every evil imagined by the heart of man. Once again, just like it tells you in the book of Genesis, all right, about how wickedness had pretty much filled the whole earth to the point where the Lord said he's going to destroy this place with water. This time, the same thing is happening, but the result is not going to be a cleansing of water, but it's going to be a cleansing by fire. Okay, let's get this in the book of Genesis really quickly. Genesis chapter 6, start off at verse 11. It says, the earth also was corrupt before the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence. And the Most High looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And the Most High said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Right, so the Lord told Noah, all right, about his inner secret counsel. Okay, what he's going to do to this earth based on, all right, the actions of the people of the earth at that time. Okay, so that he tells Noah the secret, which is, make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shall pitch it within and without with pitch. Okay, and then he gives him the whole breakdown of how to build it so he can survive that destruction that was coming. Okay, in the meantime, while he was building, the people who were committing those sins that caused him to come out here and prophesy and for the Lord to destroy the place, they were scoffing. Same thing that you see here today. And that's why the Lord tells us in the book of Luke. Let's see if we can get that. Let me see. Luke chapter, is it 17? And verse 26. Yep. Luke 17, verse 26, it says, and as it was in the days of Noe, which is Noah, right? Greek of saying Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noe entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Okay. Likewise, also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Okay, so the first part is referring to Noah, as in, it says, and destroyed them all. There was a flood that came. And then it also says Lot, and it also references Sodom, right, where they had fire, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven, and it destroyed them all. Okay, so the two instances that the Lord sent some form of a drastic destruction upon people being wicked, all right, he's resembling or actually saying that these two things that happened is exactly what's going to happen this time around before the coming of our Lord. Okay, verse 30, Luke 17, verse 30, even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed, right? So the same thing that was going on back then that caused the destruction to come upon the face of the earth is the same thing that's happening now, but this time even worse. Okay, so let's continue reading the article. It says, America's system, and you notice this is focused solely on America, but also it talks about, and we're going to read, the influence that America's wickedness has had upon the face of the earth, just as it's written in the scriptures. Okay, it says, America's system of justice has also become lawless, and some of the country's three-letter agencies are violating our Constitution and turning justice on its head. The FBI has become a criminal organization involved in lying to Congress, lying to FISA judges, perjury, and setting people up. For example, nearly every foiled T or terrorist plot uncovered by the FBI in recent years was planned and financed by the FBI using a patsy as the fall guy when they made arrests, giving the false impression to the American people or the Babylonians they were being effective in fighting so-called terrorism. The CIA is perhaps one of the larger drug trafficking syndicates, eclipsing the Mexican drug cartels. But yet, there's a war on drugs. Fucking clown show, man. All right, and the people are waking up to this bullshit. All right, and that's why a lot of people are starting to tune out of the so-called mainstream media, right? And they're engaging in conversation that will be considered conspiracy theories, right? People are waking up, but ultimately the understanding of the scriptures and having faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is the deciding factor. People could wake up all you want. You've had people that would talk about, the Illuminati or 9/11 was an inside job, all these different things. But then you bring out a certain point in the scriptures and then you see the division right there. You see, no, I see that, I can't see that. Yeah, we know you can't see that. All right, kind of like the young ladies that pulled up on the Elder Menach Zagba talking about, I love the Bible. He said, yeah, well, the part of the Bible that talks about not showing your titties and your ass and all that. And she just walks away. She's like, hey, nah, I ain't interested in that. Or I'm not talking about that part of the Bible. That's the average American for you. They talk all nice, talk all sweet, but nothing they do is actually nice or sweet. All right. So continuing, it says, since September 11, 2001, America has entered the dark side and the Babylonian spirit of lawlessness has overtaken the country. Yeah, she's in full-fledged, full form. What's that? Final form. America, Babylon the Great is in her final form. All right, so you've seen all this wickedness happening. All right, as it tells you in Isaiah 47 that the Lord is going to uncover, all right, all the wickedness that America has been doing since her inception. Okay, talks about the wickedness that they've been engaging in, all right, from their youth. Okay, so from their inception, which America was built on Masonic principles, so that's all you need to know. Okay, the year 1776, right, goes back to the establishment of the Illuminati by Adam Weishaupt. Okay, a so-called professor from Ingolstadt, Germany. Okay, and he put to paper all these agendas and ideas, okay, that you're starting to see play out on the earth today. Okay. And is being pushed on by his reincarnation, which I believe is Professor so-called Klaus Schwab, the reincarnation of Adam Weishaupt. Okay, and that's just me. All right. It says, continuing going back to the article, it says, prior to 9/11, America was different. A few days after 9/11 or the 9/11 attacks, Vice President Dick Cheney appeared on NBC's Meet the Press, where he said, quote, "We also have to work, though sort of the dark side, if you will," end quote. See? What's that? Psalm 64 and 8. That the Lord said He's going to have their tongues to fall upon themselves. Right? So if you pay close attention, right, you can pick out on certain things that they say to expose themselves of who they really are. Okay? And then you can see through the clown show that's on the stage. All right. So then here, it says, before 9/11, America was generally at peace and seen by the world as, quote, a shining city upon a hill, end quote. Let's get this real quick. Man. Let's see right here. Oh, boy. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Okay? So America at some point was known or was looked at by the world as a shining city upon a hill. And I believe there's a precept that pretty much says something like that. I just can't remember where it's at. Maybe the Lord will open up my mind to go to it. But if not, we're just going to keep on going. Okay, it says, we did not have the homeland security. We did not have an Iraq war preemptively waged against an enemy that had not attacked us. Before 9/11, we did not have the Guantanamo Bay detention camp operated by the United States government illegally, holding detainees indefinitely and using controversial interrogation techniques. They said we began to torture people, including waterboarding. Before 9/11, we did not have Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq with human rights violations in the form of physical, psychological, and sexual abuse, including torture, reports of rape, sodomy, and homicide of prisoners committed by military police personnel of the United States Army, together with additional U.S. governmental agencies. Okay? The Patriot Act was passed, significantly reducing restrictions in law enforcement agencies' gathering of intelligence within the United States, expanded the Secretary of the Treasury's authority to regulate financial transactions, and broadened the discretion of law enforcement and immigration authorities in detaining and deporting immigrants suspected of terrorism-related acts. The act also expanded the definition of terrorism to include domestic terrorism, thus enlarging the number of activities to which the USA Patriot Act's expanded law enforcement powers can be applied. And that was all done by design. So now you're starting to see that 9/11 was a catalyst for a lot of the freedoms and rights and so on and so forth being curtailed. Okay? And of course, you put that in tandem with social media, and there you have it. Anything and everyone can be called an anti-Semitism or anti-Semite, and that could cause you fines or eventually jail time or ultimately being put to death, if we go by what Trump is saying. Okay, that anti-Semitism is going to be punishable by death. So let's see. All right, it says the National Defense Authorization Act, which is the NDAA, was passed placing domestic terror investigations and interrogations into the hands of the military, and which opened the door for free trial, indefinite detention of anyone, including American citizens, so long as the government calls them terrorists. There you go. You see? It says the Constitution was trashed and posse comitatus was abandoned. American citizens are now routinely surveilled by government agencies monitoring their voice and email communications. Following the events of 9/11, the foreign policy of America changed and the spirit of Babylon erupted. Woo! There you go. There you go. Oh boy, here you go. All right, I got a little bit more left. Okay, got a little bit more left. All right, and all these things that, we're reading is all showing you, right, that you don't got to look far to find out if, is America Babylon or is Babylon the Great? What country could that be? Bro, you're living in it. All right, the very word Babylon means confusion, babal. Okay, so you're living in the land or the city of confusion, but yet you're confused as to what this means according to biblical prophecy. It says, as my friend Nathaniel Leo points out, the mass suicides, shootings, and murder we are witnessing throughout America and the world is part of the fourfold judgment of the Most High upon America. The display of senseless violence, murder, and mayhem we have witnessed in recent years is part of the fourfold judgment upon America. The Most High is allowing a new phase of demonic activity upon this country, and it is going to continue to escalate in the coming years as the Most High continues to judge this nation. And these are Edomites talking like this. All right, so they can clearly see, all right, that America is indeed leading to her last days. Okay, and it's all because of her deeds. All right, it's not that, oh, you guys are crazy. You got no. We're telling you the end result of America's ways is destruction. Period. Okay, you can't go back and change it. All right, because the Lord set it up this way for a reason. Okay, that's why Revelation 18 says what the cage of every foul and unclean spirit. Okay, that's where you get all this wickedness that goes around the world, and everybody, culture vulturizes the wickedness of America. It starts from here. The whole, alphabet community shit that you're starting to see other nations starting to pick up on, it starts from here. They put the fuel in the battery. They put the fuel and the battery pack in the vehicle, man. The vehicle of sin. I got a Benjamin friend, and he was saying that there was some girl, all right, that was watching these these TikTok videos and shit like that, and out there in the land of Benjamin, specifically Jamaica, this guy was doing these stupid TikTok videos. And I guess he was behaving like a sodomite. I guess he was a sodomite, playing the role of a sodomite, or he was just pretending to be a sodomite. Whatever the case may be, he thought it was funny. So then the chick, when she met him, she was like, "Oh, I didn't know that, you Jamaicans actually do these kind of things." And he got tight because he said, he said, "Oh, Bakla, this Bati man, he's cursing it out and shit. He's saying all kinds of stuff. He's like, yo, this guy out here is giving us a bad name." He's like, the shit that pissed me off was that the shorty, who's a white American girl, goes to Jamaica and she sees a Jamaican man and she's like, "Oh, I didn't know that, you Jamaicans do shit like this." And that shit pissed him off. He's like, "Man, this one fucker over here got people thinking that this is what we do, like it's acceptable. It's not acceptable." He said social media has gotten these people everywhere around the world looking at what Americans do, and they're starting to imitate it. And it's causing a friction in their customs and their cultures. Okay, remember the scriptures talk about the nations drinking of the wrath of the wine of her fornication. Okay, so all these behaviors and profane activities, whether it be words or whether it be actions, all right, whatever the case may be, that's being pushed from America is going through the whole entire world. Okay, and we're seeing it. All right, it says the national corporate owned fake news media sanitizes its coverage with the vile acts occurring in our society and only reports on a very few of them. Vast numbers of senseless acts of violence go unreported because their reality would be too graphic for a national audience, right? So they try to hide, the reality of what's actually going on, right? They don't want you to see how wicked this place really is, and that's what makes us sound crazy, because we don't hold back. We just tell you what's going on, and people can't believe it. They think, "Oh my God, you guys are crazy. Oh my God, you guys are, But hey, the truth is the truth, man. Truth and facts ain't hate. All right, that's not hate. Anyway, continue, says, on the other hand, Hollywood is more than happy to dramatize the satanic-inspired violence to satiate the desires of a wayward populace. The recent popularity of zombie-themed programming may actually be more prophetic than many realize of a coming zombie apocalypse of evil beasts released on the land. And that jump shot, all right, that the Fauci juice that a lot of people took is going to play a role in that. Okay, they're starting to normalize cancer and starting to normalize heart problems, and they're making so-called drugs for the same conditions that they created by giving you that J. All right, so hey, the devil is back at it again. Never trust an enemy. All right, so continue. It says, the spirit of lawlessness breaking out across America has spread to younger age groups. Teenagers have lost all respect for authority. They are becoming hard-hearted, sensual, and violent. And that's a fact. Okay? You got 11-year-olds, 13-year-olds out here on social media acting like grown-ass adults. You know what I'm saying? And then what that's doing is they're bridging, they're actually destroying that gap between adults and children. You know, people, you got old ass people doing TikTok dances for millions of people to watch. And it's like, yo, you're not embarrassed that you a grown ass person doing this dumb shit in public? There's this black dude, big brolic ass dude, and he does these stupid videos where he's eating food, and when they're serving the food, he's looking like a kid, all excited, like, you know, he's showing all his teeth, you know, and he be dancing, like doing all kinds of. I'm like, man, this dumb, retarded ass, annoying nigga, man, you know. And he just does that. Like, he wears all these tight ass clothes, and guess what? He's famous on the internet. I mean, yo, you're not embarrassed to be doing this dumb shit? You're a big brolic ass dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? And this is the image that you're portraying for giggles and laughs. A grown-ass man. Grown-ass man, bro. Shit that 15, 20 years ago, a grown-ass man would never even say. Like, you don't even... Bro, not even in the privacy of your home would you be doing no dumb shit like that. This whole ass nigga is doing it for millions of people to watch. And it's like, he like, you cool. Like, nigga, what? Meanwhile, Esau in the Pentagon is setting up robot dogs and super soldiers and shit. And you out here dancing for TikTok. You a whole fool. Anyway, let's continue. It says, let's see. Let me go and bring it down a little bit. All right, let's see here. It says, our city streets have become asphalt jungles, right? Many of them are unsafe, even in the daytime. Gang violence has increased. Drive-by shootings and other random violence has become standard fare as people have become more brutal, right? And that's what the Apostle Paul said, right? Let's get that real quick in the book of, I believe, Second Timothy. Let me see if I can pull that up real fast. Right, it lines up perfectly with what Yahushua said in Matthew the 24th chapter about iniquity abounding and the love of many waxing cold. Right, that's what you see typically in America is just wickedness that's being social media has become social media has desensitized all this wickedness that's going on. You know, they're masking in the form of memes and TikTok videos and so on and so forth. All right, people are being desensitized to all this violent activities. You know what I'm saying? It's like people not even paying attention no more. At first, I remember if there was like a so-called mass shooting, the whole country, that's all you be hearing. They be talking about it every news station. You know what I'm saying? Like the Sandy Hook shit or whatever. Nowadays, it's like it happens. And it's like, oh, another mass shooting. Okay, cool. Move on. Yeah. You know, people don't even hear about it. Man, it's crazy. Anyway, there's a book of Second Timothy chapter 3, start off at verse 1. It says, this know also that in the last days, right, perilous times shall come. Why? Right? Perilous means what? Trouble. Going hand in hand with Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah 30:7. Okay, Daniel the 12th chapter. All right. It says, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, okay, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. And you see that even in this truth. Okay, men without class, men who have no fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua's order that he set up on this earth. Okay, you don't go around, okay, turning around and cursing out the men who taught you everything that you know in this truth. And you turn around and you start cursing men out, calling them out of their names. It's just like, it's just no integrity, man. You know what I'm saying? Very feminine behavior too. That's not right. You know, if you get cut off from the body, you have to stop and you have to analyze and deal internally. Lord, why is this happening? You know, and you pray that the Lord doesn't take that Holy Spirit away from you. That even if you have to be alone for a while, that the Lord keep that Spirit on you so you can prove yourself to Him. Right? And everything that's being done in secret, the Lord will bless you openly. Right? So even if men kick you out, for whatever reason you fucked up, or there was a misunderstanding, whatever the case may be, and you stay on your grind and you stay humble and you keep your faith in your Yahweh and keep worshiping and serving the Lord righteously, what's going to happen? Yo, the Lord will bring you back in. You know, the Lord will bring you back in. Like the story of the prodigal son. You know what I'm saying? You can go, but if you're doing the right thing, the Lord will always bring you back home, man. You know? But if you out there, you're doing fuck shit, and then the Lord is chastising you, and now you out here being a hoe, you know, you get a hoe's reward. You know what I'm saying? So going back to 2 Timothy 3 and verse 3, it says, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, right? Despisers of those that are good, right? So let's look up a few words here, okay? Because I believe, let me see something. All right, this is perfect in the book of, let me see, maybe we can get this in the NLT. What is NLT? Do I even have the NLT here? I thought, oh, there you go. Right, 2 Timothy 3 verse 3 in the NLT, okay, it says, they will be unloving and unforgiving. They will slander others and have no self-control. That's that incontinency. They'll be cruel and hate what is good. And that's all you see here in America nowadays. Okay? That's just what it is. Okay? The NIV says, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of the good. Right? And all because of what? Social media clout. Okay? It says, or the ESV says, heartless, unappeasable, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not loving good. Okay? Brutal. Not having self-control. Let's get that in the book of 2nd Ezra real fast. Okay? It's the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 5. Start off at verse 9. It says, and salt waters shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. This is all part of end time signs. Okay? You start to see a lot of this stuff happening. You got people that used to be cool. They're not cool anymore. You know, it's being put out on Front Street too because of social media. Okay? People are putting out, you know, you can't come to an agreement anymore. Everyone is just, oh, you did something wrong to me. I'm gonna do something wronger to you. I'm gonna put it up on social media. You know, it's like a culture of just straight fuckery, man. You know, no order, just straight up wickedness everywhere. Okay, a place without order. All right, like it tells in the book of Job, I believe it's the 20th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. I could find that. Okay, it says, then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber. Okay, and that's why you have all these people acting the way they're acting now. You know, here it is. All over the news, you got women getting kidnapped, women getting raped, women getting murked left and right. And here it is, you got women still walking out with their ass out, titties out, posting crazy ass pictures. You would think that, damn, like shit is going down. Like, yo, let me start, you know, dressing modestly and, you know, keeping myself at home more and trying to stay out of the limelight and trying to stay out of trouble and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Nah. They're now on that type of time. They're on demon time, like they say. You know? Hoes being hoes, looking for more ways to be hoes. Like, come on. It says, verse 10, and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon earth. Okay? And that's what you're seeing. And it's only going to intensify, like we always say. All right, that's just how prophecy works itself out. Okay, it kicks off little by little. We notice it, we talk about it, and next thing you know, it picks up and it gets even more aggressive. See, it gets more and more aggressive and then deadlier and deadlier and deadlier. Okay, so continuing 2 Timothy 3 and 4, it says, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High. Okay, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, for such turn away. Okay, so that's exactly what we're seeing in today's day and age, man. All right, right here in America, Babylon the Great, and around the world, because the world is following after the ways of the whore. all right, which is America, Babylon the Great, okay, the city of great confusion, okay. It says our streets or our city streets have become, oh no, we read that already. It says, because we have rejected objective truth and the foundation of all that is good, we no longer even know the difference between good and evil. Our consciences have been so seared, we are no longer offended by evil, but tolerate it. That's the American people. Okay, they have a whole month dedicated to a people who call themselves pride. Meanwhile, in the scriptures, it tells you that the Most High hates the proud. All right, that's one thing that he hates. As a matter of fact, let's see if we can get that. Okay, let me see. Is it Isaiah 13? Let's see. Well, let's get this. Psalm 5, verse 5. This is not what I was looking for, but this is good too. All right, it's a book of Psalm chapter 5, verse 5. It says, therefore, the proud may not stand in your presence, for you hate all who do evil. Period. That's it. Simple as that. Okay. But you see, now Esau is trying to demonize the word hate. See, they're trying to tie in the word hate with anything that could go wrong or any type of, ridicule that comes as a result of evil doings. We call it out. They call that hate now. Now crimes, petty little crimes are called hate. So they're trying to demonize the word hate so that they can cover up their wickedness, man. All right. But it's not going to work because people are waking up to that shit. Okay. So continuing, it says, since virtually all perverted behavior people engage in is now categorized under natural behavior, a door is now open for more wicked sins. Just 30 years ago, we would have been appalled, even outraged by the decadence and debauchery that daily fills our streets, TV shows, movie screens, music, and art, video games, businesses, and political bodies. But today, we rarely give it a second thought. In fact, we often give it our approval, or at least fail to speak out against it. Americans have gotten so used to it, or they've gotten used to it all, even though it is not a good thing to get used to. Right? And that's because, let's get this, in the book of Isaiah, right, the prophet Isaiah talks about this right here, the book of Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. It says, oh no, hold on. Is it? Oh, this is the NLT. Oh no, we want the KJV. All right, hold on a second, Salakia. Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. It says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Okay, so everything is being turned upside down. Okay, the whole earth is out of course, and that's because we're under the rulership of the wicked. All right, so America is the playground of the wicked. All right, that's why you're seeing all the things that you're seeing now and the things that we're reading about right now. Okay, it says Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan wrote in the American Scholar, quote, the amount of deviant behavior in American society has increased beyond the levels the community can afford to recognize, and that accordingly we have been a redefining deviancy so as to accept much conduct previously stigmatized and also quietly raising the normal level in categories where behavior is now abnormal by any earlier standard. That was heavy. That was heavy right there. Okay, what he's saying is America has gotten to a point where all the wickedness, little shit that today nowadays people look at and just bat an eye. A few years ago, there'll be public outrage. Why the hell are you having so-called DRAGSs, all right, in dresses running around in front of school little children and teaching them and reading books to them? Why the hell are schools allowing for books that contain graphic homosexuality to children? Yeah, what the hell's going on? Why are you creating an avenue for people who are attracted to little children, which should be, dealt with accordingly? Now they're talking about their maps. They're called maps. They're called minor attracted persons. You see what I'm saying? It's little shit like that. This whole tolerance of, oh yeah, it's out of hand. It's gotten out of hand, and this is the end result of tolerating wickedness and not putting it out as soon as it starts, man. Stomping that bitch out. Okay, that's why it's built up to the point where now the Lord is going to be the one to come and stomp this place out. Okay, it says, as a society, we have gotten used to illicit sexual relationships, adolescent promiscuity, abortion, cheating, lying, stealing, prostitution, rape, divorce, and even murder. We have gotten used to financial mismanagement on both civil and personal levels. We have accepted political corruption. We have rejected personal and social responsibility and learned to blame anyone or anything else for our problems and failures. We have traded in our infinitely valued divine image for a nickel-plated pagan shrine erected in honor of self-interest, immorality, and social apathy. Listen to this. Here's a banger. The American ideal today is me first to do what I want, when I want, to whom I want, regardless of who or what it may hurt. These are the signs of a society gone wrong. Okay? And that right there is all you need to know, all right? That America is going to be destroyed. Point blank, period. Okay? Once you go this far out, it's over with. You ain't no coming back. Right? We would have healed Babylon, but Babylon cannot be healed. It's over with. All right? That's why Revelation 18 is written. It's telling you what happens to America. Okay? And then the aftermath of it. Okay? The aftermath of it. All right? So we're going to get this last precept here, and then I think we're going to close it out. All right? It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 5, and verse 16. It says, let's see. Actually, let's start off at verse 13. It says, thus shall mine anger be accomplished, and I will cause my fury to rest upon them, and I will be comforted. And they shall know that I, the Lord Yahweh, have spoken it in my zeal, when I have accomplished my fury in them. Moreover, I will make thee waste and a reproach among the nations that are round about thee, in the sight of all that pass by. Now remember, this is initially talking about Israel, the nation of Israel, but it's also twofold. Okay, because the things that Israel was doing that pissed off the Lord, you're seeing that happening now here in America. Ultimately, Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed because of the acts, okay, the acts of wickedness that has become normalized in this society. Okay, Jacob was onto that type of spirit, and the Lord calls us to be a reproach among the nations. Right, as you can see, we're at the bottom of all things, but He's going to raise us back up. It starts with the elect. All right, and that's what we're teaching, and that's what's putting that fear in these devils. Okay, they'll be okay if we're talking about equal rights. You know what I'm saying? But we're not talking about equal rights. We're talking about a new kingdom, a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. Okay, new takeover, new management. Okay, and that means that we about to, it's just going to go down. Okay, Daniel 7 and 18 tells you that. Okay, the earth is going to be under new management. All right, so continuing back in Ezekiel 5:15, it says, so it shall be a reproach and a taunt, an instruction and an astonishment unto the nations that are round about thee, when I shall execute judgments in thee in anger and in fury and in furious rebukes. I, the Lord, have spoken it. Now, here's what I want to bring out, what ties into how America is going to be taken out. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction. All right, because you're going to have a famine of bread, water, and so on and so forth, and also a famine of the word. So you got a double whammy of famines. Okay, it says, and which I will send to destroy you, and will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread. Okay, what they talk about the food supply chains and all that. Well, when the lights go out, all that stuff gets affected. Okay, and people ain't ready. All right. Verse 17, it says, "So will I send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they shall bereave thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee. I, the Lord Yahweh, have spoken it." At the end of the book of Ezekiel, chapter 5, and verse 17. All right. So yeah, man, just wanted to bring this out real quick. Living in the times that we're in, it's always very important to highlight these things, and to bring it right into the memory. Okay. That, yeah, man, the words of the Lord is playing out. Okay. And it's not just us that can notice it, but people who are in the world that are actually paying attention, they're also noticing, all right, the hand of the Lord at work. Okay. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna leave it off there. Lord willing, you are edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash, the water Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and until next time, Shalom.